What's up, everybody? Welcome to Are You Down with LPT, the podcast where agents like you share their stories, experiences, and insights to help each other level up and thrive. In every episode, we're diving deep into the real-life challenges, wins, and lessons from the front lines. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, this is the place to connect, learn, and grow together. So, if you're ready to get down with LPT and take your game to the next level, let's jump in. Welcome back to Are You Down with LPT? I'm here with Alysa and Hailey today, and we're talking a little marketing and specifically talking about marketing luxury property. And the Des Moines market has changed quite a bit. If, from a statistic standpoint, I was looking end of last year and pre-COVID, 2019, and let's see if you guys can guess this. How many homes do you think you sold in the Des Moines market over $1 million? Over $1 million in 2019, Des Moines market. Any guesses on that?
Total?
Yeah.
23.
23?
Wait, who sold them? You?
No. The whole market. The whole market. I sold 0 of those, just to be clear.
15.
25. Okay. 25 sold. In 2025, okay, 6 years later, how many homes do you think sold in the Des Moines market, either pending or sold last year, Des Moines market? Any guesses?
I want to go like 130.
130?
That's right.
I don't know, 100?
100, 130. The correct answer, I put the wrong dates in there. The correct, I know, is north of 100. I think it's close to 200. Let me see. I got it right here. 174
Okay.
sold. So we went from 25 to 175 in a 6-year time period. Now, COVID happened, prices went up, cost of construction went up, a lot of things happened, but that is a significant jump in number of homes that have sold over $1 million. And in luxury, I think it's below the $1 million price point, Des Moines, but I think the point of it is there's a whole lot more luxury homes in Des Moines than we even had 5, 6, 7 years ago. So we want to talk about what it looks like to market a luxury home. So let's kind of roll through some questions. Hailey, we'll start with you. When people hear luxury marketing, what do they usually get wrong?
I think the biggest misconception is that luxury marketing is only for high-end homes. In reality, luxury marketing is more about the experience you create than the price point of the property. Buyers and sellers notice when extra care is taken with presentation, communication, and marketing strategy. Every home deserves to be showcased in its best light, regardless of its value.
Yeah, love that. And, as I mentioned, a lot of homes over $1 million, but I think that luxury is more, as you said, a presentation and certainly not just homes $1 million plus. Alysa?
Yeah, I agree with everything Hailey said. I think agents often assume that luxury marketing means spending a lot of money, but that's not necessarily true. It's about being intentional with how you present the property, from the photography to the listing description to the social media content and communication with your sellers. Luxury marketing is essentially about creating a polished professional experience that will help the property stand out.
Yeah, I think those things, we want to treat every listing, really like it's a luxury. There are some things, I think, as we get into some higher end stuff, and we'll dig into that we may spend money on higher price points that we may not on the lower price points, but we'll talk about that. So what separates, Hailey, luxury marketing from standard listing marketing?
Yeah, luxury marketing focuses on creating an emotional connection. So standard marketing often centers on facts and features, while luxury marketing helps buyers envision a lifestyle. I think it's about highlighting what makes a home unique and telling a story that resonates with potential buyers rather than simply listing the number of bedrooms and bathrooms.
Yeah, I like that. When I first got into real estate, and there's less people doing that, but they put it in the remarks. It'd be like 2 BD, 1 B, BA, where you're just listing details that you could jump on Zillow or MLS and get what you need. But to really tell the story, I know a lot of times we go on listing appointments, and as we're talking about even the remarks that we're going to put, like, you need to tell a story that's going to capture people that they want to come to the house. Like that's our job. Our marketing is to get people to want to come to the home, and then the home, between the pricing and presentation, will sell itself. So, Alyssa, on that?
Yeah, I also think it's about the level of strategy that's involved. So, luxury marketing isn't just throwing the home on the MLS and sharing a social media post. It's about thinking through every stage of the launch. So, identifying the property's strongest selling points and making sure every piece of your marketing works together to create excitement and drive and interest.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So, Hailey, back to you here. Why should agents apply those luxury principles to every listing?
Yeah, I mean, every seller wants to feel confident that their home is being treated like a priority. So when agents apply luxury level services and marketing to every listing, it creates a better experience for the seller and usually leads to stronger results. It also helps build trust and can lead to future referrals because clients remember how they were treated.
Yeah, good stuff. Alyssa?
I think it also strengthens your personal brand as an agent. Most clients aren't seeing every transaction you do, they're just seeing you through your marketing. So if every listing you market looks professional and elevated, clients will begin to associate your name with the quality and professionalism that you provide, regardless of the home's price point.
Yeah, very important. All right, so let's shift gears again a little bit. We want to create that luxury experience. So we'll talk about first, before the home ever hits the market. Hailey, what should happen before that property is even listed?
Yeah, I think before a home ever hits the market, there should be a clear plan in place. Agents should walk through the property with the seller and identify opportunities to maximize its appeal, whether that's decluttering, rearranging furniture, completing minor repairs, or even improving curb appeal. This is also the time to discuss the overall marketing strategy, timeline, and expectations so the seller understands exactly what will happen leading up to the launch day. The more preparation that happens up front, the smoother and more successful the launch tends to be.
One thing for me, I've always, or for the last 7, 8 years, I've used a stager, and it's not just to stage a property, but I'll be on my, I'll let them know on my first appointment, like, hey, I've got a stager I work with. It's not that she's going to haul a bunch of furniture in here, but we're going to walk room by room and see what we can do to help the property stand out. And there's two parts of that. One, like that's not my forte, my gift. And two, it gives a little buffer. So instead of me being, hey, you need to do this and all that, I really push it onto the stager to do that. And so I pay for that consultation fee. If there's staging we need to do beyond that, then the sellers would have that opportunity and would pay for that. But I pay for the consultation because I want another set of eyes on it. Two, somebody that's a little more gifted, and three, give me a little bit of that buffer being the bad guy. Alyssa, your thoughts?
Yes, before I get into my thoughts on what I really have to say, but back to kind of like the decluttering and having someone come through, I think it's so important because when you look at $1 million listings online, there's no clutter in that house. It's pristine and clean. And I think agents kind of forget that even a $300,000 house or two, when you're taking photos of like a laundry room and it's all cluttered and you can tell they just shoved a bunch of stuff in there, it just doesn't give it that luxury experience that people are looking for, and it kind of turns them away. So I think no matter what the price point is, you should be kind of listing it and staging it like it is a luxury home. But yes, before a property ever hits the market, this is kind of where you as an agent can set yourself apart. Before the listing goes live, you should have a full marketing plan in place with all of your assets scheduled, and the seller should know exactly what to expect from your marketing plan. This will help the launch not feel rushed on your end. You have everything set in stone, so once it goes live, everything's kind of smooth sailing. So that would be professional photos, video, social media content. Maybe you have some email campaigns, and any other additional marketing materials should all be coordinated ahead of time so everything is ready to go once that property hits the market.
Yeah, good stuff. I was showing a house this past weekend and we were going through it, and it felt like it was staged, and it was so clean, and I couldn't find anything in this particular home that would tell me somebody lived there. So I always go and I open the fridge to see if someone actually lives there. And the fridge was full. So I'm like, these people had presented the home in such a way that I felt for sure there was no one living there. And I really think that's what the presentation we're after.
not always possible based on people's lifestyles, but that's what you want $1 million house to look like. That's what you want any home.
And that's one of the little
Yep.
things you can do is just like clean up a little bit. It doesn't cost you anything to kind of store some things
Yep.
and clean it up.
Okay, so let's talk photography, videography, property preparation. Hailey, how important are these things?
Yeah, I think photography and videography are incredibly important because they're often the first impression buyers have of the property. Buyers typically decide within seconds whether they're interested enough to learn more. So, professional photography captures attention, while proper preparation ensures the home looks its absolute best. And ultimately, the goal is to create an online presentation that encourages buyers to schedule a showing.
Yeah, I had mentioned that earlier. Like that, our job is to present the home in such a way that people want to come through. And you can jump on Zillow or Realtor or whatever website, and that photography, videography, the way it presents there, that is your first showing. And if people aren't captured there, they're not coming through your home. So it's so important that you stand out there first. Alyssa?
Yeah, I think that great marketing starts before the camera ever comes out. So, like we were talking about, the home needs to be prepared properly first for those photos. So, once that's done, professional photography and video become powerful tools for telling the story of the property. I think video, especially short form content for social media, can dramatically increase exposure. This is giving them a whole different experience than a still photo does. So, it helps buyers connect with the home before they really ever step inside.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. What details make a listing feel more premium online?
I think the details really matter with professional photography, clean and consistent branding, thoughtfully designed graphics, and even well written property descriptions all contribute to a more premium feel. Even small things like image order, formatting, and presentation can impact how buyers perceive the property.
Yeah, good stuff. Alyssa?
Yeah, I think the premium listings have a complete marketing package like I was kind of talking about before. So this is great photos are just the beginning, but additional assets like video tours, property brochures, social media campaigns, maybe if it's even one of those higher end listings, a Zillow showcase, some targeted email marketing, this can all help create a stronger presence online and make the listing stand out from your competition.
I was talking about Zillow Showcase with an agent recently that had been a home that had been a little stagnant. And I think this home was, mid sixes somewhere. And they're like, what else can I do? Number one thing is always price. We always want price matters. But what I was telling her is like, if they can adjust the price with that price adjustment, maybe now do Zillow Showcase. So even though she hadn't done Zillow Showcase in the beginning, Zillow's going to push it, especially the first 7 days. And if you're going to do it, you want to make sure they're on board with my pricing. We can do all the marketing in the world, and all the marketing dollars in the world will not sell a listing that's overpriced. But if they can get on the same page we are with price, and this particular one, it was like mid sixes, need to be low sixes. I'm like, hey, if they can move that needle, add Zillow Showcase, it's going to bump it. It's going to remain over there. Zillow's going to push it in their algorithm. So there's little things we can do along the way, even some things at the beginning, but along the way that we could add later for sure. Hailey, how can agents create a stronger first impression with listing descriptions and marketing material?
Yeah, I think the key is focusing on what makes the property unique. So instead of simply listing features, I think agents should explain how those features enhance the homeowner's lifestyle. Buyers connect more with experiences and emotions than they do with specifications. So ultimately, strong marketing material should help buyers picture themselves living in the home.
Listen.
Yeah, I think agents also sometimes rely too heavily on generic language. Every property has a story to tell, so whether it's an incredible backyard, a beautifully updated kitchen, or a location close to local amenities, the marketing should highlight what truly makes the home stand out and create a memorable first impression while following fair housing rules.
Yeah. Key disclaimer.
Yes.
Yeah, Adelina used to do marketing for me, back when she first started and everything was an oasis. Not everything is an oasis, but every home has a story to tell. And so one of the things when I'm walking a home with clients is like, okay, let's take some highlights. But I'll always ask them, I'm like, what do you guys love about the house? You don't have to write a description, but bullet point, what do you love about the house, the area, whatever. And people will tell you about walking trails and schools and whatever else. And, chat can become a great friend to us of helping us write remarks. But, if you can give it direction, and then I would tell you go back through and, personalize it. So it's
Yes,
not
yes.
everyone doesn't sound the same, and your question marks where there's supposed to be apostrophes is not there and all that good stuff. But, there is this, we're trying to tell the story because we want people to feel that story enough that they want to come through the home. What role does storytelling, we just started talking about here, play when marketing a home? Hailey?
Yeah, I mean, like you just said, storytelling helps move buyers from simply viewing a property to imagining themselves living there. It also creates an emotional connection and allows buyers to envision how the spaces can fit into their daily lives. So that's often what separates a listing that gets attention from one that gets overlooked.
Yeah, they want to feel like home, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Listen.
Yeah, everything Haley just said, I just think that storytelling allows you to paint a picture of what life could look like in the home. And kind of back to what you said, I like how you ask your sellers kind of what are your favorite standout parts of this home, so it can help you paint the photo in your description, which is important.
Yeah, people buy on emotion for sure. All right, so let's talk about luxury marketing on a budget. Hailey, what are the highest impact upgrades agent can make without spending a fortune?
Yeah, so if I had to choose one investment, it would probably be professional photography. So it's often the first thing buyers see and can have a significant impact on online engagement and showing activity. A relatively small investment can dramatically improve how a property is perceived. I also think professional photography, you can definitely tell when it is and when it's not.
Yeah, I agree. I think professional photography is definitely at the top of the list. I mean, if you have crappy photos, the listing's going to show crappy. So just getting those good photos that look good. But I also think that adding video content helps. Even a simple walkthrough video or a social media reel can expand a property's reach and help it stand out online. Those two investments typically provide some of the best returns for the marketing budget. And think of just taking the photography does cost you some money, but video, this can be done on your cell phone. Like it doesn't have to be something too intense. You don't have to hire someone to do this for you. You definitely can, but this is something you could absolutely do just on your own for free.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was a day when you probably could get away with taking pictures on your phone. And, that I think the baseline anymore is I got to have photography and maybe I should have some sort of video with it. And that seems like the baseline of what we should be doing. And if you are not doing professional photography, I think you're definitely doing your client a disservice at this point. So
Yes.
affordable ways make the sellers feel like they're receiving luxury level service.
Yeah.
Hailey, sorry. Yes.
No, you're good. Communication is one of the most valuable things agents can provide, and it doesn't cost anything. So, regular updates, clear expectations, and proactive communication help sellers feel informed and confident throughout the process. Those small touches can make a huge difference in the overall experience.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think a lot of luxury level service comes down to the organization and communication. This would be providing a detailed marketing plan, sharing updates regularly with your sellers, and taking the time to explain what's happening behind the scenes so your sellers feel supported, and this reinforces the value that you're bringing to the transaction.
Okay, so we want to talk about listing launch. That initial listing time is like it's always the most important. When we go live, we know if we're priced right and we market it right and the market is right, like just all that together, I think homes can sell, well, potentially right away on the market, but certainly for less days than what would be the average. So I want to create a memorable listing launch. Hailey, what would that look like?
Yeah, I think a memorable launch starts before the property actually goes live. Like you said, you want to build anticipation with sneak peeks on your social media stories, include behind the scenes content and previews of key features. So when launch day arrives, buyers should already be familiar with the property and excited to see more.
Yeah, I think the best launches are coordinated and intentional. Everything should work together, and there should be a reason behind everything that you're doing. So, professional photos, the video, the social media content, email marketing, reaching out to agents, When multiple marketing channels are activated at the same time, it creates momentum and helps maximize exposure during those critical few first days on the market. And I definitely think this seems like a lot, but once you continue to do this for every listing and you have that marketing plan that you always use, maybe once you get like $1 million listing, you'll add in a few other things and it will change a little bit. But once you continue to do this consistently, it'll become like second nature and it doesn't feel like it's too much. It just feels like something that you're naturally going to continue to do.
Really good stuff, guys. Appreciate it. A few questions here before we kind of close down. What's most overlooked luxury marketing tactic?
I think spending time preparing the home before marketing even begins.
I would say keeping your seller in the know. And so like communicating with them throughout the listing process and what's happening on the marketing side of things.
Okay, Hailey, one thing every agent could do tomorrow to elevate their listing.
I would say take some time and help their sellers prepare their homes before photos and showings. Maybe decluttering, walking through the home, finding stuff that needs fixed.
Yeah, and if you are not the expert, like I said earlier, bring somebody with you and hire that out. That's okay. Alysa?
I would create a launch strategy before the listing goes live, so you're not all over the place.
Yeah, you're ready. All right, last question for each of you here. If you had a brand new listing coming on the market next week, what are the first 3 marketing steps you would take?
I would walk through the property with the seller and identify any opportunities to improve presentation before professional photography. Second, I would coordinate the professional photography and any video content needed to showcase the home. And then third, I would build out a marketing plan so that every piece of content and promotion is ready to go before launch day.
Alysa, thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with everything Hailey said. I would create a marketing timeline and determine how you're going to position the property, and then coordinate all the marketing assets. So this would be photography, video, social media graphics, and any listing materials. And then third, I would prepare a multi-channel launch strategy. So this is meaning like Facebook, Instagram, the emails that you plan to send out. That way, once the property hits the market, you're maximizing visibility from day one.
Yeah. Well, guys, that is great. Amazing stuff. I think a lot of great takeaways for our agents to implement, whether it is a high-end listing, really any price point. I think things they can start using right away. So appreciate you. And until next time, this is Are You Down with LPT?
That's a wrap for today's episode of Are You Down with LPT? Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you get some valuable takeaways to apply to your journey. New episodes drop every Friday, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss out. And hey, if you have your own story you'd like to share or questions you'd like to dive into, hit us up. Until next time, stay down with LPT and keep leveling up. Catch you in the next one.